I'm going to walk through now the homework that was set this week on stem and leaf on Mymaths and just show how it might be done. So if we just walk through each question, and I'll fill out the answers as we go, but bear in mind that the numbers you'll see on the screen now are not the same that you'll see, because each time you go back and have a go at the homework, it'll regenerate the numbers so that you can't just memorize what you got right and then use those answers on a second attempt. So question 1, Florence is a nurse on a children's ward, and every hour she takes the temperature of 16 children, and the results are below, 2 rows of 8. So the first part says fill in the stem and leaf diagram, and the first set is for your working out, the second set is for the final set of numbers when they're nicely in order. So remember, they'll be in random order initially, so we'll look at the first one, 35.1. So in here we'll put 1. The second one's 37.2, so we'll look at 37 and we'll just put the 2 in there. 38.1, we'll put the 1 in there. 36.5, we'll back up here, put the 5 in. So we're just doing it in the order they appear. 37.7, we'll put the 7 in there. 37.2, now I've got to put the 2 in there. I know it's out of order, but that doesn't matter. 36.5, another 5 goes in there. 38.5, so you see how it's building up. 38.2, 39.3, 36.3, 35.3, 39.4, 36.5, 36.2, and 37.8. At this stage we should really count them up to see if we've still got 16. So from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we don't appear to have dropped any numbers. Now on the right hand side we've got to put them in the correct order, in numerical order from smallest to largest. So the 35, 1 and 3 are okay, they don't need to change. The 36, the 2 should come before the 3 and the 5. So I'll put the first 2 in there, then we'll put the 3 in. And then we've got 3 lots of 5, 5, 5, and 5. 37.2, well, the 2's are not quite in order, so we'll put in 2 first, then the second 2, then the 7, and then the 8. 38.1, 2, and 5. Now the 1 will be first, obviously, followed by the 2, followed by the 5, and the 3 and the 4 are okay. So we've actually finished now, so we should be able to mark that and hopefully get 8 out of 8. Okay, here we go. So we've either got that completely right. If we look over here, we've got 8 out of 8. Everything's correct. So now we should look at question 2. The diagram shows the stem and leaf tables of the weights of 2 groups of male 20-year-olds from towns A and B. Now you'll recall in class we said that we could take a stem and leaf diagram and use it to compare and contrast more than one set of data, right? So in this case we're going to compare and contrast 2 sets of data, town A on the left, town B on the right. Now down the middle of this stem the numbers are common, so we're going from 60 up to 100. To the left of this leftmost bar are all the units of the scores for town A, and to the right of this rightmost bar are all the units for the scores for town B. First question, how many men were weighed in town A? So we need to add up these numbers here. So we've got 4 on the first line, plus 3 is 7, plus 5 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 7 is 25. So we've got 25 for our first number. What was the modal group in town A? Now, not the mode, but the modal group. In other words, which group had the most scores? And it's for town A. And very clearly you can see on here at the bottom of this diagram that it's the last group that's got the most scores. And that last group runs from the 10, which represents 100, up to 108. but its actual full range for that group would be from 100 up to 109. Once you get to 110, you'd have to put an 11 down here and carry on with scores on the left hand side. So we should really put down that it runs from 100 up to the maximum number in that group that you could have, which is 109. Not the 108 shown, but the group score that it could have. It asks for what the group was, not for an individual score. The next question says, what was the mode weight in town A? Now the mode weight is the most common number, the most commonly occurring number. And straight away I think you can see we've got 2, 2 and 2 here, and there's no other numbers on there that have at least 3 occurrences. So that 2, 2 and 2 represents 102. That's 102. So I'm going to put 102 in there. Now the next question asks, what's the median weight in town B? And for us to do that, we need to know how many scores there are in town B. So we'll look up here and count the numbers. We've got 4 on the first line, plus 3 is 7, plus 5 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 8 will give us 26. So we've got 26 scores. Now halfway is 13. So 13 and 13 gives us 26. So we're going to count out 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 13. The next number is 14, and because it's an even set of numbers, I've got to take both these into consideration. So I've got a 90 and a 92. Halfway, if I split the difference, is 91. Penultimate question, what was the range of weight in town A? Well, town A ranges from 60, the lowest number, to 108. 108 minus 60 should give us 48. And the last question says, on average, which group was heavier, A or B? Or are they equal? Well, I've got to compare them. Now I've got a median weight for town B, which is 91. So it'd be a good idea to compare with the same average for town A. So the median for town A, well, I've got 25 numbers, so halfway is going to be exactly 13. Let's go down the numbers then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That looks like 90 or 90. The question is, which is heavier? Well, A is 90 and B is 91. So the answer ought to be B. And that should be the complete filling in of this particular sheet. So let's mark it. And we've got a nice perfect score. And that's all there is to it.